Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Mr. Bravo's workshop. In our last episode, we finally fitted all the floors, and they came out and they look absolutely fantastic. In the episode before that, we put some lacquer on top of this, and I got to tell you, it set it off absolutely beautiful. That looks 10 times better than what it did before. It just lifted it to a whole new level, and it just looks amazing. I can see it looks amazing on the screen, but I'm telling you, it looks amazing up front. It just boomed it to another level. And all I did was put lacquer mat on it. It's fantastic. I put the lacquer mat on the floor. It made it pop. And also, when I put the flooring on, it popped through the flooring, and the whole thing just is coming together. While I've got you there, I'll quickly spin it around, because you might have a favourite view. And again, that side there, looks brilliant. I like this. It's worth all the hours that I put into it. It's come up fantastic. So where are we now? Okay, so there, this is protected and it looks good. It's been touched up. It's got the lacquer on it, so it'll take a bit more of a beating. So we still got the black line and a little bit of red to fix up. So what we got to do now, we're going to take all this off, and number one, we're going to take it off and have a look at it. And number two is we got to start to do that small repair on the red and finally expose the black line. The black line, we haven't seen the whole episode. I haven't even seen it. I don't ever know if it's going to work out. If it's worked out, not going to work out, going to fail, I don't really know. The other thing I do know is the colour's good and it's now protected. So worst case scenario, and we've got to paint both sides of that, I'm pretty happy that we could probably put tape on this, especially in a day or so, and see how it goes. I'm just taking this tape off now because we actually don't need that anymore. And I only put that on there because while I was putting the lacquer on this, the lacquer was a water-based or acrylic base, and as I've stated before in the past, you can't put lacquer on top of acrylic. You can put acrylic on top of lacquer, but not the other way around. That's probably the downside to doing it. The upside, though, when I take the tape off on this side, the upside is the hull looks fantastic. The colour now looks fantastic. And it's all just sort of coming together. So while I'm talking here, I'm just quickly going to take all this tape off. And then we can kind of move on to the next stage. And this is why I didn't like this tape, because you see what it's doing there? It's pulling all the paint off the actual white tape, which is one of the reasons I didn't want to use it up the top in the first place. So we're going to expose. Oh, that just looks absolutely amazing. It's just a shame I had to go back through and touch up the red, because it does look fantastic. Keep going. Take it off. One more to go. Look at that. Here we go. Let's take it out of its sleeve. There we have it. Look. Look at that. That is amazing. That turned out pretty good. Okay, let's pop that out the way just for the moment. We are on the final stretch here because we've got one more thing left to do on this hull, and either fix or don't fix the black line. The flooring is done. The structures are done. Most of the little ammunition is all done. So we're pretty much at the final stage of just putting this together. So what I'll do, I will probably cover this side here. And I may actually wait till the morning. I was just, I wanted to do this, and I'm like, well, I can't really do it without documenting. So now that I've documented and taken it off, we can really see it. I mean, all the work I did in the base. The red looks fantastic. The colours now look fantastic. I mean, yeah, I got to get that white line off and check that out. So that's that side. Let's spin that around. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about that. This is a side that has the blemishes. So I did try to actually scrape that mark off, and it didn't work. I did end up marking it. This side is not marked, so I don't really even have to touch this side. Oh, sorry. I don't even really have to touch this side. It's just this side here. Just where the colour bleeded through. I mean, I could probably even get some thinners and a rag and take that off, but because I've actually marked it here, I will just tape this up and I will give it just a touch up with the colour that's already mixed. I've got the same colour already mixed. Whenever I do these things, I mix up the colours and then I keep them through the whole build. And then once the build is deleted and all the touch-ups are done, and then I just delete the colour. I just, if it's not bad, I'll put it back in. But if there's not much left, I'll just get rid of it. So again, we're looking at the hull, and again, I've just lifted it a bit more, and just, this is probably my favourite side. I kind of like the way that it looks. I mean, it's nice. It's really, really nice. So, where are we now? We got the floor, we got the bits and pieces ready. So, I can't put the floor on until I finish the hull off. And to finish the hull off, we just got to do that line and then take the black line off. I don't have to paint this side. Or do I? Or am I better off just to give it one whole hit all over it? I'm probably better off to give it one whole hit all over. Otherwise, I was about to take that line off. That's turned out fantastic. Let's get a few pieces together. Well, that took all of about 3 minutes to basically put all those pieces together. So we are very, very close at finishing this. There is the hull with the decks all coming together, and we're very close to gluing all of this down and then putting it all together. It looks amazing. There it is again. Oh, what am I doing? There it is. The camo sort of comes up, a couple different levels, and it all sort of works. There. Let's go that way a bit more. There we go. I roll the camera back a bit. There it is. Down. Worked out pretty good. Across. 3 levels. Down. Pretty good. I'm pretty happy with all of that. I mean, and when you turn the actual lights off, it just looks a million times better. Hang on. Let me just turn that one off as well. Here we are with the ship. I mean, hang on. Yeah, the camouflage sort of just really, really works under this kind of lighting. I mean, I didn't like the light color when the extreme light was on it, but under this angle and everything else, yeah, this ship is seriously, it's gonna pop. It's gonna look beautiful. It's turning out as good as I expected it to, so we just got to keep nutting away at it. So pretty soon we're going to do the masts and other bits and pieces and put it all together. So the last thing to do is I'm going to prepare the hull. I'm not going to really show you because you've already seen it. I'm just letting you know what it looks like. We'll put that light back on. There you go. You can see what I mean. The light doesn't do it any favours, but the light is there for the camera. So I guess at the end of this video I will fix the hull up and then come back, and then we might even glue it all together. Well, good morning everyone. It is the next day. I've just finished preparing the ship. I put tape all around it, and what I did is I double layered the tape so that I'm only really getting one strip about the same that's hanging out here is actually going on there. The last thing I wanted to do now is ruin that magnificent paint job that we've got. So it is 5:05. So I'm just going to quickly make a coffee and make a start. Okay, there it is now touched up. This was the side that we had the leak on, over here and over here. It's come up pretty good. I gave the whole hull just one quick touch over. There's one side, there's the other. So now what we really have is the completed hull. I'm just going to give that some more time to dry off. So about 2 hours has now passed since we first started. Maybe not quite, but almost there. I painted this because this stuff dries fairly quickly. It does need 24 hours to go rock solid. I've removed all the tape. The only thing left to do now is expose this black line. Now, how am I going to do that? Let me think. I kind of want to do it where, to sort of show you, I kind of want to do it where I'm actually pulling it back onto itself almost like this. If I peel it up like this, there's a high chance I can lift it. So if I do it, roll it over and kind of like that, it is only a 1mm line, and I'm hoping to lessen any damage we do on the black line. The rest of the hull is completed. It's 100% completed. So if I can get this off, we are good to roll. Okay, I spent a couple of minutes there just releasing the end corner, and here we go. I'm going to do this so slow because I don't know what we're going to see. Oh, that was a big chunky bit that moved, unless it was actually two pieces. I think there was a bit of black that came off. That's what that was. Oh. I think my worst fear has just come true. Yeah, you're seeing it just as long as I am. We have a failure. Oh my goodness. Come on. Here we go. Right, move the ship more forward. Right now this seems to be working, so I'm just going to roll with it at this pace. It seems to be, as long as you don't lift any of the other paint, it stays. So far, I know you're just out of view there. Oh, see what I mean? Now the paint's lifted, so now it's just going to lift the whole lot. So we have to try and get that to stop. No, this is a disaster. Oh my goodness. What's failing here? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious me. I don't even know what to do now. This has not worked. Come on. There we go. I'm trying to save as much as I can, because the plan is, if I really have to, I can remask these small bits and put it all back on. This has not gone overly to plan. Perhaps maybe if I stick with my original peeling back like that, that does seem to be a little better. Just going to keep rolling with it. It's working at that pace. I can hear the disappointment in you guys too. Yeah, that's working. So far we got probably 3/4 of the way through there. not too bad. If we can just keep rolling with that, we may be able to salvage a lot of this. Just going to move that over there. Got a bit more room. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I had a beautiful hull. Beautiful hull. Alright. So what I'll do, I'll just snip that off there. We are at the end. Sorry about that. Man, I'm disappointed again. My goodness, let's just come back for a minute and let's do a bit of a recap. I'll zoom out. You've just seen it, I've just seen it. There's the black line. It looks good. There's almost an argument in this ship not to do a black line. Because that paint job was seriously really good. I do see why you need the black line. It's just, it brings it up another level. I can see some more painting and taping going on here, and just I can't believe it. Anyway, let's finish it off and turn it around and try the other side. Okay, you should be in view there. I've got the other tape. Let's see how we go. Alrighty. Can't really say I'm pulling it off too fast. Nah. There we go. Yeah, this is not going well. Yeah, you can hear the disappointment. Well, that's really prominent there too. Although some of that's just like a fairy line, and you're only seeing it because I'm zoomed in a long way. We'll just continue with this. I've been wanting to get this tape off ever since I put it on. Because on our test pieces, it worked out pretty good. Let's keep rolling with that at that pace. That pace there is kind of working really nice. Well, that's working out pretty good. I reckon with a little bit of a rub down there, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It would come good. So, again, we're about 70%. Oops, that piece just came off. So, I'm just going to keep going with that pace, because whatever pace that was just working for me. Oh, goodness. We had it going so well. Now I've got to try and get that black back off. I mean, if it's just a small repair like that, that's a touch-up job with a very fine brush. But the rest of it, probably not. I don't know. I do see hours of repair though, because this thing was absolutely perfect before this. So we got the last little bit coming off. I'll keep rolling with it. I know you're in the screen. Oh, we just lost another piece. Come on, let it go. No. Well, there you have it. So if it was just this line here, it would probably be alright. It was just like that. I mean, you take some of that furry stuff off, and it would have came up really nice. It would have, like, I'm giving you a nice close-up here because you've been along the journey, but stuff like this, so I don't really know what's happened here. Does it look like the undercoat has failed? Looks like the undercoat came up and then it took the line up. What it does need now, it actually needs a wash and a brush. So I can't actually wash this now because I've technically not long just painted the red. I don't know what to do now. Let's turn it over. Let's have a look at the other side. Oh, it's just disappointment everywhere. It's just bad. Again, through the middle, if that was how it turned out, you would be extremely happy. And the majority of this is pretty good, except for one little spot down here. So I would say, yeah. How do we fix this? How do we fix this? I've stated all along that everything is fixable, and this is too. It's just another setback. Because this thing was absolutely gorgeous. Only an hour ago, I mean, I fixed up all the red, I fixed up all the colours the other day, and I hit it with matte. So all it was just the black. I probably suspect that some of you may have thought this might have happened with the way that I put the black line on, but being such a thin black line, it was the only way I thought of putting it on. I do know how to fix this. It would take a lot of time to double tape it and put a black line back on there. It's not impossible. So I've walked away, and to be honest with you, you guys got a very, very close up view of this. And at this view, which is the view we're always going to see it at, there is very small repairs. So my thinking is, overall, it's not bad. Look, you've always got to look the better side of things and whatever else. Be optimistic. So I think what we're going to do is, overall, this side is not that bad. Yeah, okay, we've got a couple of spots, right? So a bit of very careful placement of some tape and, you know, a brush, and we can fix that. So let's flip it over. The back half is virtually pretty good. And again, the same view, the same light. I mean, that's the light. I've turned all the lights off. The lights off on the bench. That's the view you're going to see that. And I've got to tell you, it's not as bad as what we first thought. Don't get me wrong, it's bad, but because nobody wants this. But yeah, I'm going to look on the better side and go, yeah, we can repair this, and I'm going to. I didn't do all this work with all the hull and the camouflage and the red and just, you know, taking the line out of the hull to get to a stage like this and not fix this. So you can guarantee I'm going to fix this. Yeah, I mean, we got the overall look we're after. It just needs finessing again, much like when I had the disaster with all of these. These were, when I painted these were an absolute disaster. They look quite good now, and I'll switch that back on just so you can see. And the other one. Yeah, these I'm happy with as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, right now I'm not happy with the hull. Again, I always knew this was going to be a hard paint scheme, and that's one of the reasons why I actually got this ship was I really wanted to push myself on this build, and it has. But we're almost there, and I'm not going to let you down now by not producing a really good ship. I've showed you the good, the bad, and now the ugly on this ship, and I will show you how I fix it to get to the end. That's where we're at right now. So let's just do a quick little recap. So on my favourite side, we have two major repairs here on the black. I was expecting some repairs, but not quite this much. And one tiny one down the back. And then we're just going to work this line a bit with maybe a small brush or something. Even just, yeah, just to bring it back. So that's this side. The other side is actually better. We have a tiny, tiny bleed mark just here, one on the very tip, and again we have a little one here. So we got two repairs. So my thinking is if I tape either side of those, not spray, because spray will just, the problem with black when you spray it is it just gets everywhere. Even the fine feathering stuff just gets everywhere. So I am not going to be touching this up with a spray gun. I'm going to mask it off and hit it with a small, tiny black brush. And the majority of it, where it's pretty much all okay, I'm just going to pretty much work it a little bit, much like that, and just, it's got fine furry stuff on there, it's got to come off. And then, yeah, I'm just going to, so two little repairs, one at the end, two major ones on this side, and one little one at the end. So we're talking very little for repairs. So that's me being optimistic about it and trying to turn it around, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to set this up and get it ready, and then I'll come back. Okay, the first thing I've done is I've put something down to protect it off the harder mat, because the last thing we want to do is scratch it all up. So what I've done is I've got these cloths, I'll get the name of them in a minute, and I actually find these cloths very kind of, not sandpaperish, but they're very coarse. So what I've done is I've just basically run along the line, and all that little furry stuff that we had earlier, it's just taken it all off. It's cleaned it right up. There's no more furry stuff. So that's the majority of how I clean this line up, which you can see it's worked. It's not as bad as what I thought. So by taking all that rough little furry stuff off, it really just shows us what we need. So we're just going to concentrate on particular areas. Overall, I've still got the look what I want with this ship. I mean, unfortunately, you're seeing it at a different angle, but that's kind of like the angle, and with the lights off, that's how the majority of the time, apart from the fact there's a light now beaming through one of my lenses. So apart from that, that's the view that you're going to see. So like when I stand back 1 meter, I don't see any blemishes here at all. I mean, and even close, I mean, I don't really see any blemishes. That roughing it up and taking all them smooth edges off has helped it immensely. It has. And I was quite firm on it, quite hard on it, and just, yeah. So what I'm going to do is we have a slight bit of peel on the red, and we have a very slight little bit of peel on the grey. So I'm going to go back and just hand touch a little bit of that stuff up, and then I'm going to put the two tape lines down. I do have a reference mark here, and then I'm just going to touch it up. Stuff like this, I think I'm just going to hit it by hand with under the micro lens, and I think very, very closely I can fix that up. And as a matter of fact, I'll do that one there right now. Here is a couple of my very small brushes. This one on the left is probably the smallest, but the one on the right has the better tip. So I'm going to use the one on the right. So there it is, touched up, that first spot just over here. I may just have to give it just a little touch with the red, but can it be fixed up? Yes. So that is one done. Next one now ready. There it is, freshly painted. Next one all prepped, and now freshly painted. I've just removed the tabs. That looks pretty good. This one is now dried or drying. The black line's repaired, but now I have to repair the red. Yep. So overall, the black line's now been repaired on this side. I just need to finesse it a little bit more just to touch it up. So can we fix it? Yeah, we can. We're getting there. I'll just repeat the other side. There's the next one prepped. I'm not doing the top one because I'm not painting all the way to the top. The black is still up the top, so I'm only doing the bottom repair. There it is painted. I'll just remove the tape. Got a tiny little bit of bleed there in the black, and when I say tiny, it's only because you zoomed in. So I'll move on to the next one. There it is prepped up. There it is painted, and even I'm having a hard time trying to see where it starts and finishes. So I'll remove that. This side's coming up pretty good. Yeah, so yeah, I was just going to, I still got to pull the tape off the other side. So there's one the one we just repaired. I'll take the tape off that. The nose is prepped. There it is painted. I'll just let it dry. Okay, where are we at? All right, so the black line is now all on, all the way around both sides. Not happy here, not happy here. So I have to now touch up the grey and the red. Anyway, let's flip it around. Got to fix up the front on this side, but the rest of it is all pretty good. The black is all the way back through there. So we're only down to a little bit on the front. I'm disappointed, and you can imagine how disappointed I am. I'll get there, it's just taking time. Now I'm going to attempt to touch up with the red paint. Yes, for the second time today. Okay, where are we? So I've now salvaged the red line and I've salvaged the black line. I do think the whole lot is now going to need a hit with the matte. But that is the one side, the red and the black. Yep. Turn it around. There is the other side, the red and the black. I do have to touch up the grey now. Luckily, I got lucky. It hit the grey twice in the one colour. So with the medium grey, I'll go back now and touch up the other way. And let's call the hull finished, but I'll come back. Okay, good evening everyone. I am back. It's been many hours, so I've fixed up the red, I fixed up the black, and I fixed up the grey. I do need to hit this with a bit of lacquer matte now, just to bring it all back in together. Yeah, that's it on that side, all done. I'll turn it around. So I'm going to probably lacquer this tomorrow morning, and then work on finishing the ship off. So there is the other side as well. I'll bring it up. It is kind of recovered. I'm not 100% perfectly happy with it, but the black line is back. I'm hoping the matte will help out like it did the other day with the colours here and just help to set it all off. So I'm just going to let it dry. I think I've reached probably my level on this, and yeah, I think what we'll do, we'll just lacquer it and we'll see how it goes. So I'll end this video here. This is probably the third unveiling now that hasn't worked out well. But we're back there. So anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks. Bye. And it is 7 o'clock at night now.